about today's training. Today we are going to learn about how to create CVs, resumes, and cover letters. Now I'm going to start this way. Did you know that up to 75% of resumes are rejected by ATS, known as the Applicant Tracking System? Now these things are being rejected before even a human can ever see them. That means that your dream job could slip away before anyone can even read your name. I was going through HQ Hire and I saw that it enlisted quite intriguing statistics related to ATS, which includes 75% of recruiters and hiring managers use ATS these days. 98% of Fortune 500 companies use ATS, and we have that about 3 in 4 qualified candidates are rejected by ATS because the system can't read their resume correctly. Now these are issues that are caused by things like of keywords in your resume or your CV. So in today's hyper competitive job markets, your CV, your resume, and your cover letter are your personal marketing tools. They are not just documents, they are your first impression, your pitch, and your ticket to the interview room. Whether you are applying online, remotely, or in person, it's important to master how to craft documents that will sell. That is it, yeah. But it's also essential to applicants and those who wish to change roles to master this, not just you as an applicant. You know, if you wish to change role, job role, it's good that you master how to create your CVs, your resumes, and cover letters. Now, according to LinkedIn, a well-crafted resume and cover letter creates a powerful first impression. It showcases professionalism and attention to detail. Now, it also increases your chances of being shortlisted for the job you are applying for. So this session is 100% practical. You'll learn how to differentiate between a CV, a resume, and a cover. Know when to use each of them to build your sellable documents, and using proven structures and language patterns. You also learn how to avoid common mistakes that get resumes rejected by ATS. Use Word or Google Docs to format your documents like a pro. We're also going to leverage online platforms to create standout CVs and cover letters. Submit your documents to authentic job platforms that recruiters trust. Now, by the end of this particular tutorial, you'll be equipped to design and format professional grade CVs, resumes, and cover letters. Use language that grab attention and passes ATS filters. Okay, now apply confidently to jobs without relying on untrained typists to do it for you. If you don't mind, say hi. Just type hi in the chat window. If you're watching later, you can just say hi in the comments box. Let's get started. Okay, so before we proceed, I want you to help me with this little question here. Which of CVs, which of CVs, resumes, and cover letters do you think is the most important when applying for a job? Let us know your response in the chat window or in the comment section if you are watching later. This can help us know the audience better and what they think, and your knowledge of these three documents. And I know that this can be tricky question. Yeah, it can be tricky question. I'm waiting for just a few seconds to see the answers I will get on the chat window there. Okay. Service resumes and cover letters. Which one do you think opens the door? Which one do you think is most important when you are applying for a job? Okay, they are all important, but in different ways. So I'm going to break it down on which one you use for a particular job position you are applying for. Okay, let's start with CVs. The CV, or what we call the curriculum vitae, is let's think of it as your complete detailed professional story, or your history, or your autobiography. It is a comprehensive document that lists your entire academic and professional history. It includes your publications and conferences you attend, their research, and a kind of detailed work history. Yeah, including your detailed work history. Yeah. Now, CVs are standard when you are applying for academic jobs, like applying for a lecturing job, or in the university, or a professorship, something like that, or you are applying for a job maybe in a research institute or in a university, things like that. Or most times when you are applying for international jobs, like applying for jobs like in World Health Organization, in EU, in UN, United Nations, etc. So when you are applying for jobs like that, you need a CV, a detailed information about and your history. That's when CVs come to play when you are applying for jobs of such nature. Now let's talk about resumes. The resume is like a CV, but the difference here is that it's a targeted summary of your CV. Now it's a targeted summary of your CV. Now, when you build your CV, you can create your resume to be a kind of a concise form of your CV, usually like a 1-page or maximum of 2-page document that summarize your detail. Now, one thing about resume is that it tries to be particular to what is talking about. When you are using resume to seek for employment, you consider the kind of employment and the skills and responsibilities that the company or the organization is looking for, and you nail it in your resume. Now, in as much as your CV is bogus and bears your academic history, your resume is going to be targeted to the job you are applying for. So here we'll now say that at your the high specific skills, your experiences, and your achievements that are most relevant to you. It's a document that you can use to apply for jobs like corporate jobs and remote jobs and job opportunities that you see online. Let's take for example, you're applying for data analyst in Fairmoney or in MoneyPoint or in any of these organizations. So you can need your resume, target it to that particular that you are looking. So look at the third document for the job, persuasive introduction of whom you are. Now, while your CV and your resume list your history and skills, that is explaining what about you, the cover letter explains why. Now, why are you the perfect fit for this job? Now, looking at that, you are applying for a specific job role in a particular organization. You have to tell them why they should choose you amongst the thousands, the millions of people or individuals, the hundreds of people that are applying for the same job. Now, it's your chance to connect your experience directly to the employer's needs and show your passion for that job. You don't send your cover letter alone. Usually you send the cover letter alongside your CV or your resume. So this means that when you're sending your CV, you need to put together your cover letter for that job, or your resume. You also create a cover letter for that particular job that you are applying for. Okay, you need to know this. Here's a simple way to remember the difference. Your CV or resume is your list of facts. Your cover letter is your story. Your facts must be solid and verifiable, but your story needs to be captivating and persuasive. From the samples I've displayed on the screen, showing you the CVs, the resumes, and the cover letters, you should notice this. Look at how the CV lists everything about Ikendo Gartner. Just use a hypothetical name there, just Ikendo Gartner, about his entire academic journey, but the resume zooms in only on what matters for his role as a system admin. Now you look at the cover letter. That's where he connects the dots. He shows the organization that he's applying for the job, why his skills are perfect match for the company. So these are how you remember them: the cover letter, the resume, and the CV. Well, enough of this talk. Let's do a quick exercise. It's time for you to just give me participate in this tutorial now. Let's know if you are following. Let's assume that you are applying for a remote data analyst job, or maybe marketing job or whatever, but let it just be a remote data analyst job or marketing job in a new tech startup. Now the question is, would you send your 5-page comprehensive CV, or would you skip your cover letter to apply for this job? I'm waiting. Let us know your answers in the chat window, or if you are watching later, you can put your answer in the comments box there. I'm applying for a job in a remote job, maybe through Indeed or through Upwork or through any of the job boards, then the question there is, am I going to use a CV or am I going to skip the cover letter? The chat window, just say use a CV or submit a resume or skip a cover letter. Waiting for a minute, I'm sorry, for 5 seconds. Okay, now I can see someone say submit a resume there. Okay, that's right. You'll send a resume, yeah, and you would definitely not skip the cover letter. Yes, you want to show them exactly why you are. You want to show them exactly why you are the right candidate for that job, why you are the right fit, and you have to do that in a concise way. So here, let's take the final takeaway before we enter into the main thing. Before we continue, I want to leave you with this one final thought, and always remember this: your CV is your autobiography, full long story. Your is your movie, that is the exciting 2-minute story or 2-minute version about yourself, and your cover letter is the pitch. That's the reason why someone must watch that movie. Let's go to the demo section where you will learn how to create a CV or a resume, format it in Microsoft Word, and a cover letter. Okay, to create your CV or resume or with a cover letter, you are going to use Microsoft Word or use Google Doc. Let's assume you are using Microsoft Word. In that case, you open Microsoft. If you prefer using Google Doc, which will help you to share your CV. Actually, if you use Microsoft Word, you can also upload to your OneDrive and your Google Drive, also to your OneDrive, and share it with anyone. Well, let's presume you're using Google Doc, then you have to type Google drive.google.com, drive.google.com. You have to start Google Drive. Let's assume you don't have Microsoft Word in your computer, then you want to use Google Drive. Then you just type com, then you come down here, then Google, then new document will open. You can type creating something, then change untitled document to the name. This is CV or resume, and that's it. So whichever one, if you are using my computer, you open Microsoft Word document, and first thing you need to do is to understand that a CV or resume have structures. Let's take, for example, you have this CV here. We have about 7 structures. You start with the introduction here. You go to your professional summary, then you go to your key competencies, your professional experience, you go to your education, then certifications, then key projects if you have any. You can decide to include technical skills separately from the core competencies depending on the professional affiliations. Now you still see the same thing here in resume, your professional summary, technical skills. You can also include your soft skills here to professional experience, then your education, certification, and key achievements. Now, depending on whichever pattern you want to use. Now, before we continue, let's first of all check a save. Let's take, for example, you are looking for a job. Let's say data analyst jobs. Let's take, for example, and you've got some things up here. Okay. Okay, here I have about for Nigeria. Here I have about 505 data analyst jobs. Okay, let's take some. Now here, Marble Clear Limited, at least Money Point Group. Let's choose something like that. Now here, you are going to see quite some things here, and what we're looking at is the job they say show more. The job space. Okay, here now you see the key responsibilities here is work closely with the product managers, all this is this. Now you look at this, looking at the qualifications they are looking for. What skills are they looking at? Here you see Python, you see Sci-Fi for Jupyter Notebook here. You're looking at what are the core skills, SQL skills, okay, A and B testing. Now Tableau for data visualization tool, and Looker. Now you look at some of the things they are looking for. Now, when you are preparing your resume for this job, now you are going to consider their key skills they are looking for, and you now prepare something like that will hit that target. So now, having that in mind, let's kickstart our preparation. Now we are going to take a look at the first thing we are going to do, because I've written these things, because if I start typing them, it's going to take quite a long time. So here now we are going to do the first one, which is going to be the header, which is our contact information. So okay, let me do that in which one? Okay, let me do that in Microsoft Word. Now your header is going to be your name first. Now the name, I'm going to change this into capital letter, uppercase, increase the font size. Let's say, for example, something like this, and bold it, then place it at the center. Now this, the phone number here, email address here, then LinkedIn URL, very important, then your address, location, and country is just okay. There's no point writing detailed address, just this is okay for that. Now you are placing this at the center by highlighting and clicking here. That gives places it at the center. Now these ones is okay as it's types. You use this get them here, and then we now go to professional summary. Okay, so now your professional summary is where you are going to summarize your skills for them to understand whom they are going to deal with. Now for example here I said something like I just say professional summary. Okay, this right click here, just professional summary. Then you see how I just nailed it here. I just say results driven data analyst with 5 years of experience transforming raw data into actionable insights, proven track record of increasing operational efficiency by 30% through predictive analytics, passionate about leveraging data to drive strategic decisions. Now that summarizes whom I am and what I'm going to bring to the table. Here, bold, sorry, you highlight this and click the bold icon here. Okay, so I've gotten that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to put in place my core competencies or my skills. Now I'm going to combine both technical, business, analytical skills and soft skills. I'm going to put them together as my core competencies. Now I'm just summarizing them together in this resume. So I'm going to now looking at what is required. I'm going to build up my destiny. I have something here that I've created. Now I'm looking at core competencies. So my core competencies. So you type core competencies here and bold it, highlight and bold. Okay, so here I'm going to put down some of the things that I put in that are my areas of competencies. Now this depends on your skill and your profession. Now try to get your skills aligned with your profession. What are the things you can do or you have been doing in your work area, in your professional work? You have been doing something, you've had experiences that will help you work with an organization and improve their systems. Now here I have this, I said advanced SQL and database management, where I say using query optimization, data transformation, ETL processes and complex joins. Now this is talking about SQL code here, which is particularly the core skill here. Now if you look at that, the responsibilities and the qualifications, you notice that they need excellent SQL skill. So I've nailed that. Here also they ask I have data visual dashboard development. Now here you notice that they put in here, I saw something like okay, they put in here knowledge of data visualization tools like Tableau and Looker and others. Now I have part of Tableau here and Power BI, so which is quite important. And I also say here I have data visualization and dashboard development. So using Tableau and Power BI for operational and executive level report. This goes on and on. Process automation using workflow optimization using SQL scripts and Python. If you look here, you also notice that they say something about Python. Say that something about Python. Experience in statistical programming like Python, and experience working with popular tools such as Pandas, Cyp, and Jupyter Notebook. That's okay. So you notice that I put in something here too. Now I included some business intelligence skills here, which include business intelligence and analytics skills. Also included some soft skills here. These are all business collaboration, performance development, quite important for businesses like this. So analytical skill, which is quite a great soft skill, especially for data analysts. Now I have attention to detail, quite an important soft skill also for data analysts. So we pay attention, ensuring that there is accuracy and reliability of every data output, so that you know that what you are doing is reliable. There will be no bias. Now communication is quite important because you have to present what you get, and also this quite a skill here. Continue. Nobody knows it all, so you also try to put something like this to show you are always proactive and open to learning, and also to getting enhancements in your skill. So you cannot be static, you always be dynamic. Okay, now aside of your core competencies and the basic skills that you need, you also have to move into your professional experience. Quite important. Now when you are putting up your professional experience, always remember to include it with quantified achievements. Now let's take for example, there's something I didn't tell you about this. Now when you are creating this, you can decide to use it as bulleted numbers. So you can highlight all these things and then choose bullets and numbering here, so that you can be able to. It doesn't mean that the way I left it before is not okay. It's still okay, but you can decide to use bullets and numbering, because this aspect is the aspect you are trying to create something and format it so that you can be able to push it to the organization you are searching for your employment. Now here we look at your professional experience, which is this next section here. So I can type in professional experience here. Professional experience. Then I put in some things here, like first of all, you need to put the name of the organization you've worked with, your job role, data analyst, the organization name, Techland Financial Services, now the location and the dates where you worked from. Now very important and critical about this is the quantified achievement. Very, very important. Now here you look at the way I created something like this. I said architected and automated loan portfolio monitoring system using SQL and Python, reducing manual report generation time by 35 hours a week, and enabling real-time tracking of 50,000 active accounts across 4 product lines. Now that achievement is quantifiable. Now you are not just saying something that is vague, just quantifiable and viable. Now if this has to be a fact, so that even when they make inquiries in this particular particular organization, they will say indeed that this person did something like this. So you try to put them together. So here you are going to type in the name, the dates, and of them that you need to put here. Then this line is supposed to be bold. This line is supposed to be bold enough. Okay, so this is the dates till present. Then here you put the achievements. Now it will go on and on for the number of experiences you've had. Now it's not compulsory that you are going to have that lengthy achievements. Like here I put in something else for junior data analyst at Zenith Tech Limited. Here something like increase customer retention by 25% through predictive churn modeling, automated monthly reporting, reducing processing time by 40%, and collaborated with cross-functional teams to launch 3 new data dashboards. Now you see just quite a little, just 3 achievements here put in place, but they are quantifiable. Very, very important. They are quantifiable. So it doesn't matter that you are going. It doesn't mean that you are going to write a full page of achievements. But if you are writing 1 or 2 achievements, you have to make it quantifiable. That's the key. Let it be something that is known. Okay, you can also try to use bullets and numbering to get this stay under this place. So you can push bullets and numbering to it, and that's it. Now you go on and on to add more and more achievements. Now I'm going to stop here. Then the next one is you look at your education. Very important. But this time around is not when you are going to begin to list off all the education from your nursery school to your primary school to your secondary school to your tertiary. Now what is quite important is your highest education, which is verifiable, so that it will make your resume coincide. So that's the most important education that you need. So here you just put your university education here. Put your university education here, and that's this. So then the next thing is to put your certifications and awards. Certifications and award. Certifications and award. Certifications and award. Now sometimes you might not have a certification or award to go by, so it's not compulsory, but if you have one, you still put it. But when you have certifications, it boosts your CV and the possibility of being selected, depending on the category of people they are looking for that job. So if you have one, you put it. I have gathered certifications and employee award that I received, which is also important and a boost for my CV while working with Zenith Tech Limited. Okay, so here next is to add your professional affiliations if you have any. Now if you don't have any, you can still skip this one. So that's quite important too. So you put it here, your professional affiliations, and I've copied this and put it here. Now, the reason I'm copying to paste is so that it will be fast, so you can always do this by yourself. A sample that I have provided. So here is it? Here is it. So 1 page or 2 page with your name. If you want to be using demarcation line, you can as well do that. So when you put your blank line, the shift key and press it that times and press enter, create a demarcation line, and that goes. The same thing here, just press enter and you create a demarcation line, and that goes on and on. Okay. And that goes on and on. Okay, so that's it. You create your CV, add bold, highlight and bold the areas you want to bold. And add bullets to the ones you want to add bullets to, and make sure that every information that is required is tailored to the job application you are looking for, especially the skills and the job responsibility that you are looking that the company is looking for in you. So you put them in, and that's it. Next, we are going to look at the cover letter, how to get that done. Okay, next you need to create your and this cover letter you need to document. So you open another one, click here, select another blank Word document, so that you can create your cover letter here. It's important you also start with your name and your information, as that's your digital handshake that we use here. Start with your name and the information we started with. Key things you need to put in the cover letter. Number one, you need to put it, and it's important to personalize. Here you can say dear hiring manager or the name of the hiring manager, and you also add the address. So quite important. We are looking at money point here, and looking at this document. Okay, no name is here, so you can use dear hiring manager, but actually you are now going to say Money Point Group Nigeria. Okay, so hiring manager, Money Point Group Nigeria. Okay, so here, so now because of this space that is here, I'm going to close it off and remove the space, here. The essence of doing this is to show you how to format these things. So here you can say dear hiring manager, then you start quite with an intriguing introduction. Now there's something I put down here. I said something like what is it here? Okay, here I said something like I was thrilled to see your opening for data analyst at, now I'm going to change this to what is it called, Money Points Group. Okay, okay, now something very important here is senior data analyst here, not really a data analyst, so take note of that. So I'm thrilled your job opening as for a senior. So the reason I'm using this is so that you understand the things you need to do and be direct at what you are doing. So your commitment to innovation aligns perfectly with my passion for data-driven solutions. Now this is trying to make the hiring manager feel good. Wow, this is just you need to wow the person. That is this is good. At least you're bringing in the company to showcase that you know about the company and you know the vision of the company. So that is quite interesting. So once you put them together, you know the vision of the company, and you know I have the competence to work with you. So that is that. So when you have that intriguing introduction, the next thing is to connect the dots using the body. So in the body, you are going to put in some of the achievements that you have made, especially in your last job, so that it can connect. I didn't say just write only these few lines. I'm trying to show you something. So here I am. In my current role, I increased customer retention by 25. Remember, quantifiable achievements using predictive modeling. I also led a dashboard project that improved executive decision making speed by executive decision making speed by 40%. So you are trying to let them know these are the things that I have achieved, and looking at the core responsibilities and the things people are putting up, I can be able to be trusted with this role. I know I am going to make you proud and help you achieve what you are looking for. Now, very important, very, very important. Now, these four first aspects of the cover letter, that is the structure, these of the cover letter are very, very and extremely important, that you have to arrange them in this manner. Now the last one is a call to action, very important. You cannot close your cover letter without telling them that giving them the impression that you are expecting them to call you, or you are expecting them to link to you, maybe via Zoom call or whatever means they want to use to interview you or call you for a test or whatever, or even for anything. So you use the opportunity to tell them I the opportunity to discuss how my skills can contribute to your team. So that's the call to action. So you tell them that you are expecting their call, you are expecting them to communicate you back. And once you put these things together, as you're sending your resume, you also send the cover letter alongside. Now the moment the person reads the cover letter, they say, yes, this is the person we need, this is the kind of employee we want in this organization, then they will select you now alongside others, and you now go for the interview. Now it's important that you put in the skills that you know. If you know there are some skills you have put in there that you don't know, you have to go for it. Okay, so this is it, and this is where we are going to kind of round up today's particular tutorial. By next session on Friday, I'm going to expose us to certain languages that we are going to use while writing our CVs and cover letters that will not will not let the ATS reject the CVs. And also I'm going to point out keywords used while creating CVs and cover letters, so that you will be able to pass through the ATS and move in for the proper interview. Also, I'm going to also talk about how you can create this you can how you use AI tool to help you create your CV. Instead of typing every time, at least it will help you generate some information. Then you now change them to suit what you are looking for. And finally, we are going to also look at some job boards that are reliable, where you are going to be able to source for jobs and apply for jobs. And these are the things we're going to do now. Before we go, I'm expecting you to ask your questions, then we interact a little bit. Then your homework assignment, I'm expecting you to also create a CV or a resume or a cover letter, or the three of them, so that by next time we can discuss some of the difficulties you encounter during this process. And right now you've understood the difference between cover letter, resume, and CVs, and you can be able to create one for yourself, and for that next interview for that next job you are looking for, and you will be able to pass through the 8 years. See you on Friday when we'll continue to wrap up on this particular topic: creating resumes, CVs, and cover letters. Please don't forget to drop your questions in the chat or comment section. Thank you for being there.